Hello Cancer, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the energies and predictions for the sign of Cancer for the new moon in Leo. Now, new moons are always a great time to bring in some fresh energy into your life, to start something new. And this new moon in particular is a great time to build confidence, create independence, and also, more importantly, take initiative on something new in your life. This idea of taking initiative is very important here. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at what's coming forward for you on this new moon that is happening on the July 24th. On the 24th of July, new moon in Leo. See what's happening for you here. Just keep in mind, this is a general reading, so if there are messages that do not resonate, please do not take those messages. And please do take the ones that do resonate. You can also feel free to check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. So yeah, the new moon is on the 24th of July, and I've decided to take a look at the period of July 24th to August 9th. Reason is the August 9th, there is a full moon in Aquarius. Let me just double check this. Full moon in Aquarius. Now, one thing to note, you'll feel the energies most strongly on the 24th as well as 5 days before, 5 days after. This goes for really any new moon or full moon. And then lastly, any intentions that you set, which it's a great idea to set intentions, the timelines on that, it could take like 6 months to a year for that to play out. But I think it's good to take a look at what's kind of happening locally, around the time here. So why don't we do that? And yeah, let's get into it here. I think that's looking just about good enough to me. All right, energy on the bottom. You have the Eight of Cups, right? So the Eight of Cups is this idea of walking away from something that doesn't work for you. I actually like the Eight of Cups when I see it in a reading because this person is taking a stand, right? They're deciding to let go of the timelines, the situations, the people, the events in their life that leave them feeling sort of empty, that they don't connect with, that they don't resonate with. They're walking towards something else, okay? And in some way, they are starting anew, right? Here, as you see, they have their backpack, the walking stick. It's similar to the Fool as well, actually, at least this picture. But more so, this person's letting go of the past. And I like that they're walking towards something positive. That's the way I like to look at the Eight of Cups, right? So, taking a look here, I definitely like what I see for you in this reading. You have a little bit of resistance here, which is interesting, but nothing to worry about. You do have some fire energy, which is great. You have the energy of like Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, and we are looking at this Leo new moon, which is great. So let's dive in here. In the middle, you do have the Nine of Wands. This is where the resistance is showing up, actually in another place as well. But the Nine of Wands, this person is sort of like very close to completing something, but they haven't exactly done that yet. One way that I've always liked looking at the Nine of Wands is like, you're at the finish line, but you haven't crossed the finish line. You're resisting, stepping over the finish line. You can see this person's like weary, right? They're exhausted from the battle that they've been through, or from the experiences that they've had up to this point. And so this can say, the thing about the Nine of Wands, yes, it can be resistance, but the real message of the Nine of Wands is absolutely do not give up. Okay, when you see the Nine of Wands, this is not a time to give up. If you feel with this Eight of Cups on the bottom that you need to walk somewhere else, you need to walk in a new direction, you need to do something else, you need to let go of this situation that doesn't feel right, do not give up on that, right? That's what the core kind of theme of these two cards are in a reading. So if you really feel strongly about it, absolutely continue with the momentum, right? Do not resist the change in this case that's happening for you or that you are looking to initiate. Again, key word here for this period of time, on or before 5 days after the 24th, is initiation. What are you looking to initiate, right? Where do you need to take initiative in your life, okay? So in the first column, you have the Four of Swords, the Eight of Swords, and the World. Now, it just feels like here that something really wants to close out for you, Cancer, okay? The World is a major completion. It's a major cycle closing out. This can also be an energy of success. This can be an energy of like travel, long-term travel, international travel, these sorts of things. But that's like a lesser message for a reading like this. All right. There might be some travel actually because these wands here in the lower row, but it's a lesser message for you. Okay. The world with the Nine of Wands, something really wants to close out for you. Okay, or you really want to close something out. And, one way I've been looking at this is there's sort of like a connection between things. When you look at the world, right, there's a connection between all things here. As you see the yin yang symbol here, you see the earth, this idea of like symbiosis, right, that's going on. You see like the Mother Earth energy here. Sometimes, with this world, you're kind of, the thing about the world is it's sort of in some way, the world represents certainty, right? It says that you've gone through something and you're kind of at the end of your journey. And you can now take time to reflect and look back on everything you've experienced. And through this period of contemplation, reflection, you may see how certain things are connected. Okay? Like why you are in this point right now, where you want to move on, why you want to walk away, right? You may see why you're maybe in this period of resistance here. Why can't I just cross over the finish line? Right? Why can't I just complete this thing? So some of you here, when I'm looking at this world, you may be in this period of review, this period of contemplation. But to be very clear, this is success, right? This is an energy of success, and it's strong as well. When you get the world, it's a very positive card. Okay. You do have the Eight of Swords, which is also where the resistance is showing up here. Eight of Swords, Nine of Wands. Okay. This Eight of Swords person feels like trapped or frozen. I think most people have been getting this card recently. I think out of all, I think you're the fourth sign I'm doing for this set. And I think everyone's gotten the Eight of Swords, I think. But right now, it just may be the astrology that we're looking at here. It may mean that some people are just like, okay, I'll just say this new moon is during a retrograde, a Mercury retrograde. So while this new moon is all about initiating, just know that like during retros, sometimes like the things we initiate may take a little bit longer to see through, and that's okay, right? Just because we're in a retrograde doesn't mean that we can't do things or we can't move forward on things. But that may be why the Eight of Swords is coming in, because some people feel like just a little bit bogged down, a little bit sluggish. But there also may just be something here where you're not entirely, like there's not like a clear signal ahead right now, with this Eight of Swords energy. We'll see if we can get some more details on that. You then have the Four of Swords, which it may ask you to rest or take a look at your sleep patterns or recover from something. Why don't we go ahead and move into the middle column here? I'll see if I can get more messages on that. You have the King of Swords, the Nine of Wands, and the Page of Wands. Okay. So notice how we have like mostly swords and wands outside of the major arcanas. But we do have this pentacles, we have this cup, but the majority here, right? We've got 1, 2, 3 wands, 1, 2, 3 swords. Okay. And, when we look at this, the swords, it can represent communication. It can represent cutting something out. It can represent your thought process, your intellect. Okay. And wands, on the other hand, is more so in alignment with this new moon in Leo. Wands is about passion. It's about excitement, initiation, starting the fire, so to speak, in your life. Okay, going the distance in this case with the Nine of Wands. So it may mean that there's some, what is that term? There's some wires that are being crossed over here. Okay, so like mentally, like in terms of your thought process, you may be crossing over some wires here. Like you may be tripping over some things here. Okay, that's going on with the Four of Swords, the Eight of Swords, and the King of Swords. Like there may be some like mental resistance here. I think more importantly that maybe some of you are in this idea of, okay, you might be in this zone or this situation where you're overthinking, or you're like looking at like, what are all of the possible timelines if I take choice A or choice B, and this may be creating some resistance here, okay, for some people, and it might be derived from the thought process. But the universe is wanting you to complete something. The universe is wanting you to go the distance on something here with these wands energies. The Page of Wands is a nice card. Usually I see this come forward when people are ready to accept a job or be given a job offer or opportunity. But this can also just be like uh, you as a person are craving for adventure, or you as a person are craving for excitement, because pages can also be a person. This can be a message that comes in that's really, really exciting as well. Cancer for you, it could pertain to a job. It could be pertain to many things, in your situation. But this is generally a very exciting, very passionate, inspirational message that may be coming in as well. Or you could be taking on those elements here. So when I look at the fire signs, right? Like when I look at the king, the queen, the page of wands, the knight of wands, like these elements can sometimes connect to being fearless, okay? And also strongly initiating something. So maybe, this could be part of what you're looking at during this time. And again, I think you're sort of like taking a step back, you're taking the overview, right? The bird's eye view here with the world. You're seeing the connections of like, what led me to where I am right now with this Nine of Wands? Why am I not finishing something? Like, what is causing the tripped wires here, so to speak, or the signal jam, so to speak, that's going on? You have the Temperance card, the Six of Pentacles, and the King of Wands. So you have even more fire energy here. You can see this deck is really nice. This is the Astro Matrix deck, by the way, everybody asked me. But this is the Sagittarius card, the Temperance card, and which is more fire energy for you, right? But the Temperance card, it can say that some of you are maybe needing to take something in moderation, take something in balance. This can be a card of alchemy, like creating the life you want to see yourself live as well. It's a good card of healing and patience, when you get the temperance energy here as well. So on one hand, it's sort of like maybe there is a reason for the resistance right now. Maybe there's a reason why something's not closing out, or whatever the case may be. Maybe it feels like some of you are really, really doing some deep analysis, and I think that many people during this period of time are doing this for whatever reason. Okay. There may be some intricacies in the astrology that I'm not aware of, but it seems like people are really doing some deep analysis on connections to things here. You have the Six of Pentacles, which can indicate generosity, or just this idea of you also see the yin yang symbol here as well. All right, so the yin energy is the feminine energy, and the yang is the masculine, which is present within you as it is within everyone, within all beings, with every person. We all have the yin feminine and the yang masculine energy within us. And another way of saying this, you have it here on the world as well, right? This can represent general balance in one's life, like needing to balance out your energy. I always like to say the Six of Pentacles is like the inflow, outflow, the exchange of energy that's going on. Yes, it may mean lending. Yes, it may mean receiving. But it can also just be about like the energy you're putting out there. Finally, you have the King of Wands, which is one of my favorite court cards in the tarot, because this is the entrepreneur in the tarot. This is somebody, if you're not interested in entrepreneurship, this is somebody who is extremely, extremely talented and passionate, and they're very, very good at what they do. And they're extremely fun to work with, right? Or just outside of a work situation, this is somebody who's fun to be around. It's fun to be around. You want to hit the bar, you want to hit the pub with this person, you know what I mean? So maybe you want to date this person as well. This is like a really fun person to be around, or be their friend, whatever the case may be. So why don't we go ahead and let's move into the clarifications portion of this reading and see what we have here for you. All right, we'll take these cards, and then we'll also take a look at the energy on the bottom. You have Gabriel, divine emergence. It's time to be seen. Don't be afraid of your power and gifts. I like that for you. Okay, this is only the second time I'm using this deck, and this card has not come forward very often. So, Gabriel, divine emergence. Let's see what else we have. Everybody's gotten Raziel. It's 444. Raziel, the inner workings. There are hidden truths below the surface. Dig deeper. I like this card. I like this card a lot. I think, like I said, people are creating connections or making connections between things at this time. You then have Michael, spiritual acceleration. You are experiencing spiritual upgrades. Move forward. Move forward. Okay? So there is this kind of push-pull here, moving forward, balance, moderation, rest, whatever the case may be. You then have Azrael, transcendence. You wouldn't be who you are without what you have overcome. Own your story. You then have charity, pillar of service. Serve with a gracious heart and know God is serving you. You can substitute God in for whatever you put meaning towards if that's not resonating with you. But I like this idea of serving with a gracious heart, especially as it's connected to the Six of Pentacles. I think some of you here, you're putting yourself forward as well. You're being gracious with yourself, as I think maybe some of you are choosing to let go of a past that you may have been in, a past situation or something that you've been in. Let's try to get more details on this here for you, Cancer. Now, I do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I do hope things are going well for you. All right, let's see what we have here. All right, Cancer, let's go ahead and clarify these cards here. You have the Ace of Swords. Okay, 444 again. Every reading I've done so far has an ace. You then have the 10 of Pentacles, and you have the World, clarifying the world. Wow. Okay, so it is significant that everybody's been getting aces. I'm not surprised. Aces represent new beginnings in the tarot. New moons in astrology many times represent new beginnings or just the start of some sort of intention that you want to set or lay down for yourself. And, with the Ace of Swords, this can represent a breakthrough in one's life, something clearing, and it can also connect to success, right? So you actually see the crown on the Ace of Swords. Crowns can indicate victory or success in the tarot. You see a number of crowns here with the King of Swords, the King of Wands as well. So it's usually a good thing to see this. The person on the World card is wearing a crown as well. It's a different type of crown, but it's there as well. And I do think that some of you have set yourself up to get a win here. You might be getting a win here. Now, as with everything, it's going to, you are the sole, you hold the keys here, right? Especially in this reading, right? A 9 in the tarot, it connects to you. 9s connect to you, okay? 6s, 3s, they may connect to other people, as you see in the 6 of Pentacles card. But the 9s are you, right? And with this 10 of Pentacles and the 8 of Swords, I think the only thing in your path is resistance. Yeah, the only thing that's holding you back is resistance. That's the only thing in the way of your path here is resistance, okay? And I think some of you are trying to create this connection here. The 10 of Pentacles is huge energy for your abundance situation. It can mean that there are increases, but on another level, the 10 of Pentacles may also just indicate family, may indicate generational terms or messages here. Yes, it's an inheritance card. I don't necessarily see that, but in this reading, but it's something else, right? It can talk about inflow like some increase or inflow that's happening here. And it seems to be that you are pretty primed for this. We have the World again. I think this is really about certainty, but there's a signal jam, right? There's certainty here, but there's one thing in your path, and it's probably resistance. But also there's this message of you seeing why a certain thing is the way it is. You then have the 2 of Cups, you have the Page of Cups, and you have the 8 of Wands. Okay, love this for you. 8 of Wands. If this is your reading, there is a message that's coming in strongly for you. Okay, you will get news of something. You will get word. You will get communication around something. Both the 8 of Wands is this will not be a face-to-face meeting or an in-person message. This message will come through an email, a text message, a phone call, a letter, social media. Okay. You'll get some sort of communication because of the influence of the 8 of Wands. There's a travel timeline for some of you. I did touch on that. Some of you are doing travel here for sure with the World twice, the 8 of Wands, and then the other Wands cards. Not everybody, but some of you are. And then this is another breakthrough card. With the 8 of Wands and the Ace of Swords, this is really nice. You have another Page, which again, you are getting some news here. Feel pretty strongly about that. And the 2 of Cups can represent partnership generally in one's life. It's my favorite love card, especially when you have the Page of Cups there. Some of you, if you're still here and you're watching for love, some of you may just have some reservations about this person, okay? I I don't think that message is for the married folks that are here that are watching. I think this is for the other people here that are watching, connected to love. You may just have a little resistance around this. Let's see what else we have. Okay, let's see what else we have. I'll try to get more. And here's that Leo card, right? You have the Strength card. You have the Five of Cups. And you have the King of Cups. Another crown here, okay? So, I'll just say this about the love timeline. I think, Cancer, you are a person who, in the past, in relationships, you have given a lot of yourself. And that has disappointed you. That has led to some disappointment, some level of disappointment. You've been in this like give mode, and you ended up getting hurt or disappointed. And now there's this new person here, Two of Cups, Page of Cups, and you're a little hesitant to repeat the same cycle. Cycle's energy with the world, twice. And so I think that this is probably something you're looking at. Okay, I do see 3 kings, okay, in this reading. King of Swords, Cups, Wands. So there are people in your situation. You may have multiple suitors here, Cancer. Again, this is likely the only love messages I'm getting are for people who are not married, for people who are probably not in a long-term relationship, for the other people, right? That's the only. So if you're in the other groups, I'm sorry, but this is what I'm getting. So the other timeline is like, yes, you're getting news here, right? And the only thing in your path is resistance. Here's the Strength card. The Strength card is the Leo card. We are looking at the Leo new moon. The Strength card says that you will have the strength, the willpower, and the fortitude, the confidence to complete something, okay? The confidence to cross the finish line with the Nine of Wands. I like this, okay? So again, I really want to highlight here. This is a perfect opportunity for people to initiate what they've been wanting to do in this year of 2025. Okay, if there's something you haven't done here in 2025, this is a great time, really great time. You have another king, because that's 4 kings here. King of Swords on the bottom. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at what's going on in the Kipper energies for you here, Cancer. And we'll see if we can get some more messages for you. All right. You have despair. You have poverty, unexpected income, false person, courthouse, and privileged lady. Okay. All right, what I want to say is, look, during like any new moon, please, in the best of your ability, resist the desire to have any sort of thoughts that are scarce, okay? Let go, that is a long way of saying, please do not think with a scarcity mindset, okay? Because new moons are a time for setting intentions on where you want to be going. And with this despair, poverty, it's not going to help you if you are in this mode of scarcity. Now, you're not a machine, right? You're a human. You're not perfect, right? If you dip into that frequency for a time, it doesn't mean everything's going to be, go wrong. But it's much more beneficial during these periods of time astrologically to have thoughts of abundance. It really, really is. Okay, so if you've been waiting for a job, you do have signs of this. Page of Wands, 8 of Wands. It's going to be good to send good energy to that outcome. Okay, it really is. Journey and gift, the universe wants to give you something here. Journey, gift, unexpected income. I see you in a strong spot, okay? But I also see this like idea of there's like a dual message here where, you are taking initiative here by walking away and also fighting through some level of resistance. So, and take a look at this. You do have message on the bottom, okay? So I definitely see strong communication coming in. This is what I have for you, Cancer. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.